Okay, I could probably turn the volume down on that. Oh, maybe I need to get like a catchphrase or something going. I know Doug always starts with the sup, but I'm more unique than that. I can. No, see, I can start with a cold open. I've been mixing, I've been mixing up the ending and stuff too, and then there's really no actual rhyme or reason to the show here. That was epic. Wanted an update. Yeah, I don't know why, but every single time I log in, battle.net's like, time to update. I'm like, you should have updated at this point. This is a new computer, too. I don't know why you would be having the same problems that the other computer had. Okay. Where was I at with this? Do I actually want to work on this, or do I want to work on something else? What did I have on my list of things I wanted to do? Oh, did I tried it. I tried putting the shader on all of the thingamabobs, right? Thingamabobs? These, the grids. The grid squares. Yeah, I'm mostly late this time just because I got caught up with chatting with a coworker about games. Trying to come up with underserved audiences. He had just read the How to Market a Game. Did an article about horse games, and they're like, yeah, it's an underserved audience. There's people that would absolutely love some horse games. There's no good horse games out. But I know the article was also saying that it's not like you can't just put a horse in a game. It has to be like actual like knowledge about horses. Oh, that's what it was. It caused the weird artifacting here of like. That's why I didn't do the. I gotta fix the panning on this too. It's just it's all sorts of broken. Okay, do I want to actually pull up Trello and look at my list of things that I said I was going to do for this? Actually focus on a thing? Nah. It's not even the right one. Why? How do you remember this? I'm like, I know it's Google is the one saying, hey, this is the things that you've looked at here, but... Why are you determining that's the one that you're going to remember? This dumb dad blasted mother flippin' bug. It's been just months of I'm just too dumb. 5 days until you start looking into a grid system for Unity that'd work. I'm at the point of like I don't know. I'm still torn right now. That's why I keep messing with the like. Okay, let's do a physics version. Let's do a grid version. Because I don't know exactly how I would resolve some of these. Oh, I was going to turn off the shader on the grid spaces, because that, as good as it looks here, is just causing an issue when they're all clumped together. I mean, feel free to start any earlier than that. Clearly, I've just been struggling the entire time for some reason. I'm like, I made most of an immersive sim in 2 weeks, and yet I can't get balls to bounce around in 3 months. Okay, you're supposed to be locked to a thingamabob, you goof. It's just every time, not actual words of the things. You're supposed to be constrained along an axis. Freeze position. Right? That is what I want. It's not just freezing it temporarily, that is locking it along that axis, right? Constraints. Freeze position. So that's, I want you to not move along. Have I made a game without an engine before? I have not. Even my very earliest stuff was using Game Maker. No, wait, we did some X and A. I guess it's still not necessarily without an engine. But I think X and A is the closest I've gotten to, like, making my own sort of engine. I did the same thing. If the forward is not along the Z, no, okay, if the forward of the X is not equal to 0, constrain it on the Z, otherwise constrain it on the X. X and A is close enough to not an engine? Okay. Well, that's the closest I've gotten. Oh, and there's also this. Okay, I never actually finished this thought here, did I? It does some of the work for you, though, right? Do I remember any of the games that I made in X and A? No, not really. I remember the stuff I made in Game Maker. I know we did X and A. And it's one of those, like, I specifically remember it because my friend was just like, I've looked over the code so many times. There is no issues with the code, and yet it won't find my sprites. Oh, I'm using the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel's not panning correctly, but this is panning correctly. But he was saying, oh, I'm trying so hard to find where these sprites are. And then I'm like, well, did you add them to the file? Like, is it in the folder? And it was like, oh, oops. So he was just determined that it was some kind of a code issue when it was actually just the files weren't there to be found. Oh, this is just to see if... Okay, and then if I do that... Okay. And then if I do this... Yeah. Yeah, now you're only rolling along here. That's what I want. Is that you're not rolling along some other odd axes. So we do another pipe, like here. And ram this into the side of that pipe. There we go, okay. So that's the question, is what looks cleaner? Is this kind of physics system, does this look cleaner than the grid-based version? Or does the grid look better? That's just kind of funny to me that it goes straight out the bottom. Okay, well, now if I just do an open. Yeah, there we go. That looks better to me. There, now it looks like it's locked to the grid, despite the fact that it's only kind of sort of locked to the grid. I could just, I was gonna say, I still had a reset version in there. Okay, why is this correct, and yet this is not? I should look into that too, so... It does asset loading, window management, and inputs, and stuff like that. But There's no interface and not a full game object or component system. Yeah, okay. So to me, that still seems like it's sort of an engine, just because it does some of the like asset management, like because it does some of it. I thought of it as an engine, but I mean, I've watched videos about how to put together your own. Maybe not how to, but I've watched videos about different engines and stuff. Like Jonathan Blow was just doing a talk Well, was it recently? There was a YouTube video I watched recently where he was showing off the Jai engine that he's working on for the big Sokoban game that he's doing. Why is there an ad for Jira in here? What? As in Jira bought this? I probably did a long time ago. And you want me to use Jira instead of Trello? I don't know, just mash them all together. Okay, so... yeah, like I said, so that's the question is... like that there looks like it's exactly the same as what you would get out of... it's because it skips like that, and I'm like, I don't think that looks all that good. Now I can constrain it along the Y, and then it'll go back to exactly what I had earlier. Which might be fine. Then it's just a matter of determining the... it's still determining the collision of the ball with the bumper there, so... is a smooth transition from no engine to an engine. And X and A is somewhere in the gray area between not an engine and an engine. So that is as low as I've gotten. It's just like I've only gotten as low as C++, and I barely learned C++. Like I'm mostly been... yeah, because even starting in college, I was doing Java. As my job in college, I was using Java. Oh, what am I doing? I could just click the button. Here. Freeze position on the Y. And then I think it will be back to where I had it. Except it'll collide with the it won't collide with the bumpers. The bumpers will still be an issue, but... excuse me, that didn't look like you were constrained in the Y at all. Hey, you just did a little hop there. Excuse me. Freeze position on the Y. That's very much not freezed on the Y. Yeah, okay, because technically I should be able to dump it back into this pipe. And then it pops out the pipe. What? Huh? Excuse me. Pardon me. Freeze position Y. Is it because of the gravity? I guess I could just remove gravity too, but that I would have assumed that the freeze position would have worked. I'm just now realizing that the title, okay, if you just be stupid then, I guess. It's still freezing the position on the Y. That's not, it's clearly not freezing the position on the Y. Okay, lol, what? Am I doing new constraints? This is setting a whole new set of constraints? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, so how about a new set of rigid body constraints? How do I do both? I want to freeze the position on the Y as well. Okay, so how about new rigid body constraints? Yeah, this looks like a list. This is, yeah, it's an enub. Dot add, maybe? Is that... No, because it's an enub. How do I add more of these? You goof. Okay, so maybe I do want to add the line that says... freeze it on the Y as well. Really? Serious? Okay. There. Now, can I get it to look like the old version, just using the physics system and not the grid system? So I'm just sending a ball in a direction in a very constrained manner. Hopefully. Which still does not help me figure out how to resolve that issue, but... there we go. Bugger off, you dumb! Now you're just constrained on the Y. Both of them. What the hell, you butt? I can add the toggles here. Excuse me. Okay, what's the... What thing am I supposed to be using? So this is supposed to be Snail's house? Wow, this is an old Snail's house thing. I mean, this is a 7-year-old trash can experimental. You get deep enough into somebody's discography, you'll find dubstep. Any electronic artist, you get deep enough in there, you'll find dubstep. Oh wow, okay, this was 7 years ago. It was a dumping of probably a decade's worth of random music. Yeah, okay, I'm very much realizing that this is just... here's my old stuff. Okay. Okay, how do I... Why is it not doing multiple rigid body constraints? It's just... I feel like I've used this before. It just seems odd that it's not doing multiple... This is one of those, like, it seems so dumb simple. Like, why would it be? Oh, okay. Added this thing. That's how you do it. Okay. So it is heckin' dumb simple. Just like me. I don't know, is that disparaging to myself? It feels like it is. But like, what if it's an accurate assessment of myself? See, that it's like, do I want to call different members of my family dumb and say that's where I got it genetically? I guess I could blame the grandpa on my mom's side that I have no clue. It's a person I've never... I don't think I've even seen photos. It's just a fourth of my genetics that is completely unknown to me. Bugger off! What do you fluffing mean? Freeze position on the X and the Z. Why'd you pick both now? Freeze position on the Z and the Y. Freeze position on the X and the Y. It says Y. Bugger off, what the hell? Can't say if this would help you at all, but sometimes when I think about problems in games and how to approach, I take a step back and forget about all the game engine and just ask about how I'd go about the problem in general. If all I had was a way to display graphics on screen, what would I do to solve this? Obviously not applicable to all problems, but it did help on some things. Always depends on how much you're using the tools. Working with splines, I wouldn't use this approach, but a grid system is simple enough that we'd go that route. No, grid system is very much the direction I think I should head. But I'm still... the more I play around with, like, adding just the Unity physics, the more that I'm like, maybe I just do, like, a straight-up physics-based implementation. Okay, but... Oh, you can't read that, can you? That's tiny on my... But... that says position Z and position Y, position X, position Y. Left and right? What does left and right mean? Okay, don't. Why are you defaulting to X and Z? Okay. Well, so now what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do it again? So if I spawn a ball... Now you're perfectly fine? The fluffin' heck, you dumb. You're perfectly fine. Okay. Yay! Look at that smooth movement. And then stops. And then, because of floating point stuff, I think it's going to hang out there. But that's where I would just kind of hit it with like a shader that would make it disappear. And then, or basically that's, yeah, just disappear it when it hits that point. Oh, so then if I do that, yeah, I was going to say you're going to be locked. Now I would need to say like once it's stopped, then so it does. So I did attach a laser to my balls. Yeah, go with what works and what you want it to act like and what's most fun. Yeah, it's kind of figuring out the most fun and also the most the easiest to extend. Like, yeah, because it's not necessarily what works; it's what is the easiest to work with. That's how I like to think about it. Oh, wait a second. Instead of freezing it on the Y, because I just wanted to get rid of the hopping action, and I'm like, I can just make it a lot heavier then, right? Or is that a gravity thing? So if I make this heavier, because that's what I was messing with, because I was like, oh, I want it to fall faster, so I'm like, oh, let's make it real fat, and it's like, that's not how that works. Yeah, what falls wow. What falls faster, a pound of feathers or a pound of rocks? Well, it's like they're both a pound. Are you still constrained? No, you don't seem to say you're constrained. What about the ball I just spawned? You're constrained on the Z, that's fine. Huh? Is it because I did no gravity? Okay, it might be because of the no gravity. Okay, so now if I run this into something, that's not gonna... Yeah, that's gonna behave very odd. So give me a pipe. And a pipe. And then if I run this... Oops, and then I run this into something... Yeah, and then it just floats off into space. Which is why I was doing the, like, freeze when it hits something. Let's make it a platformer game. I mean, I suppose you could. I mean, there's this, like... I don't know how much I was joking when I said let's compete with Minecraft. No, I am joking. It's impossible. It still is a top 10 selling game to this day, and there's an insane amount of mods. But I want this to be fairly extendable, so I was thinking about adding little characters that would run around the world. That's why I added the little, like, octave fly thing. If I just increase the gravity? Okay, well that means I would require the gravity again. Okay, the issue that I'm having is that if I turn off the gravity, then when it goes over an edge, it doesn't respond. But it's just when when it runs into a pipe, I don't want it to pop up. Is the issue? Yeah, I don't want it to do that. It's like that just looks weird and silly to me. But I do want it to fall off an edge. So is this a increased gravity kind of thing? Or... the different versions are likely not the same, but imagine trying to get the physics system to act the way for the balls to interact correctly. It feels overcomplicating and making it more difficult to add more machines later. But if you want it more physicsy and chaotic in general, then it didn't say anything. Yeah, combine both the ball physics with the grid physics. It's kind of what I'm messing with. I mean, it's partially just because I was having a hard time with the grid-based stuff that I'm like, okay, well maybe we'll do more physics-based. I don't know, is something like Marble Drop, is that like fully physics-based or no? Okay, so that seemed pretty smooth. And then if I do a pipe, and then I keep doing that. Run the ball into the pipe. Oh. Maybe it's just to add more gravity to it. I mean, I think it looks a little odd when it comes off the edge and there's like heavy gravity, but that does lock it to a grid a little more without actually making it locked to a grid. But if it's like if you want it locked to a grid, then why don't you just lock it to a grid? But yeah, okay, completely predetermined paths, no physics in that game. And that's my toss-up. Right now I'm leaning towards the completely predetermined paths, because I feel like once you get into like actually letting the physics do its thing, then a lot of the game feels like it's mitigating the physics as opposed to like playing with the puzzle of the like the pieces. Maybe it is just to add gravity. Okay, now that looks like you're... Well, now you're skipping in a different way. I just don't want it to skip. I want it to look nice and smooth. And then, gosh dang it. Gnomers, that's what you want to go with as the chat name? I could do it. I feel like the Gnomies would be the easy one to go for, which is also why I wouldn't want to go for it. Okay. And the issue with the... And it's like I could just lock it to a grid and then... it's like, no, just keep it as a 2D game then. So... Is that incorrect? Or is it a misnomer? Good one. I'm laughing for real right now. Okay. I mean, this is kind of a question of, like, what looks better? Does anybody have an opinion as to what looks better? Doing, like, letting the physics do its thing, or locking it to a grid? Like I said, the reason I wanted to go less and less physics was simply because I want it to be more of the, like, the strategy of placing things, rather than the, like, here's physics randomness. Yeah, that's like the games I'm looking at for inspiration. I think both do not use physics. It's like a Maze doesn't use physics and Plungeroo doesn't use physics. No meanies. No meanies is kind of fun too. Although that sounds a little bit like meanies, as in like MEAN. But I guess if you throw no on the front of it, no meanies, only niceys, I guess. Have an opinion, but one that is already clear enough from your messages so far. Yeah, you're saying do more grid based. That's I think what you're saying. Like nominees. Yeah, I guess you could go with nominees. I mean, I get, well, nominees? That was the attempt, yeah, okay. I just put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Which I wonder if that kind of joke just doesn't work nearly as well with English not as a first language. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure both of these... No, I know both of these are not using physics. Or rather, I don't know how Plungeroo is doing. It's... These have to be bespoke animations, but they look very good for bespoke animations. As in, they look physicsy. Yeah, I'm like, I think this is what I'm looking for in terms of the feel. Be excited to hear a Turkish pun. Yes, yeah, I know very little. Not a country I'm super familiar with. Yeah, okay, so there's the... Oh, bugger off! I get it working, and then I... Okay, so you're doing side to side, but now you're not doing up and down. Didn't I fix that already? Oh, that looked like it worked. You're not doing down? What's wrong with down? Or did I not test this earlier? Really? Every other direction is fine? But down is not fine. Interesting. What's wrong with shooting a ball downward? What the heck? You dumb? Maybe we leave that alone. See, yeah, this physics version means that I have less of, like, grid management to do. I don't have to worry about the exact placement of the ball in a grid. Just say, no, you're gonna lock to a certain direction, and then when you hit something, you lock to another direction. Would that bite me in the butt later? Probably. I don't know, I wasn't getting the grid-based implementation working either, though. And if I just wait 5 days, somebody will do it for me, so... I don't think that's what the challenge was meant to be there. I think it was supposed to be, hey, you implement something, and then I will give it a shot. If not, oh, I'll do it for you. Okay. So next question. But I actually did get the raycast working. Oh, hit dot distance. So it actually is hitting something. Wait, okay. It's supposed to be going like infinite. I want it to be infinite, and then when it hits something, draw the ray. It seemed to be just drawing a ray. Okay, the other thing is that I wanted it to go from the forward direction of the object, not the physics object. This is the physics object. So, I mean, what happens if I move everything into a... yeah, I guess just another object here, and this is the physics, I guess. And then we copy over everything. And... so... move. Yes, just remove it. I don't... It's like if I redo some stuff, that's fine. I'll figure out a better way to do it, right? I'll get smarter over time? We'll see. Let's see, historically, have people gotten smarter over time? I don't think so. I think there's just been more technology that has taken away more ability to... Okay, wait, this is the... yeah, no, this is the physics component. Well, that was literally the video I was watching before I got here, was... everybody is cheating in college. Which was also kind of funny to me, because a good chunk of the video, I think most of the video was focusing on professors cheating in college with their research results, and just kind of fudging numbers there. Yeah, I was thinking about, like, if I were in college now, would I use ChatGPT for anything? As in, like, would I cheat on an assignment and use ChatGPT? I don't think I would, simply because, like, I'm there to learn, and if I'm not learning anything because I'm using ChatGPT, then... But that was also me specifically. I was there to get to learn game development and not to get a degree. I think were I there for a degree, it would definitely be a matter of, hey, let me just cheat my way through a class. I also like learning too, which is why I'm not using AI for stuff now. I think that's also an indication of, like, would I be using AI? And the answer is like, no, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so this is shooting a ray from whatever object. Oh, but this collision here. Okay, so... Because ideally I wanted to shoot the ray from the parent object. From its forward. Well, okay, let's just see what this messes up. Does this mess anything up? As in, like, now that it's the parent, like, is the parent and the child objects gonna get separated now that one of them has a collider and the other one doesn't? Okay, so... Yeah, okay, it did already destroy things. Great. Oh, I guess I could have just done this off of its forward from that first start to whatever it happens to hit. That also would have worked. Okay, maybe I undo everything I just did. Oh, no, it's just saying that the... It's just saying that this does not have a... rigid body. Okay, so we'll just try that and see what happens. Oh, I know I was complaining about my back a bunch yesterday. I woke up and felt a lot better. I don't know what the heck I did that made it so that my back hurt like the dickens yesterday. And then just is suddenly feeling a lot better today. Is it feeling completely great and healed and stuff? No, but... What do you fluffing mean? How is this related to anything? Okay, undo, undo, undo. Back up, back up, back up. Can I do that? I can't. Okay, so instead of what I was doing with this here, no, physics ball. Okay, ball can go away for now. Yeah, it's an ad. It's a good time to get some water. Oh, and I got everything transferred off of my old computer onto another drive. So now I have my entire computer on removable drives. Oh, I need to put that down as a task to do. To get my computer back up onto this new computer. Oh my god. And get a new keyboard. Yes, this is a nice fancy new keyboard, but it does not work with me. Okay, so now, instead of doing that, just do it on start. Because it was definitely spinning, and I didn't really need it to spin. Okay, well, do the whole thing then. If you're gonna be a pain in the butt, do the whole thing. See, what else was I up to? I know yesterday I was talking about It's Always Sunny, and I think the new episode is... Wait! I know I shouldn't, and I won't, but I want to see what the theme was, at any rate. Just to see. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing the jam, but I'm just kind of curious what the theme was. Actually, well, yeah, no, I don't need this up right now. And rigid body constraints I figured out, so those can go away too. Only one? This... What? That's an old theme. From, Well, that's a bunch of bull. Okay, no, I'm not excited anymore. That's a GMTK Jam theme from a few years ago or something, right? That's where I made my, I'll just resubmit. Right? That's, yeah, Knock Yourself Out. This is for GMTK with the theme of Only One. That was their big inspiration? Let's just do a jam theme from a few years ago. Okay, well that completely sucked any interest out of this. If you were in school trying to learn software game development, but school assignments were 80% analyzing poems, would you consider using ChatGPT to take some of the poem analyzation away from you to have more time for what you actually want to learn? Not that this is somewhat a situation I found myself back in school with the ChatGPT. Wasn't as much of a thing then. I mean, there were definitely some classes that like an art class and stuff. Very Christian of him. Yeah, no, this does very much seem like a, hey, it's okay, you'll get through it. It was there time for another Pirate Software drama YouTube vid? Yeah, okay, he stole this jam theme. Well, and I thought they did, like, voting. Or at least, I'm assuming that a lot of bigger jams nowadays have, like, a time for, like, okay, let's vote on a theme. And I would assume that this was... Yeah, no, because that was what happened with the jam that I did, was that the two themes were, I think got rated about the same. So they said, we'll just combine them, so... Yeah, okay. This very much seems like a... And it is this thing, too. It's like, I don't think Pirate Software is all that bad. It's just the... And that's what a lot of people have said, too. It's not that you've had a bad opinion. It's that you doubled down on it and said, I'm not gonna learn. And that, like, yes, I'm going to kill games. It was like, no, that's... Yeah, okay, no. I've already made a game with this theme. I'm not even... Yeah, I don't know if there's been any more drama, but... Because YouTube keeps trying to recommend me that it's like, this is what I think of his hacking stuff from an ex-hacker kind of thing, or like, this is what I think of his game as a game dev. And I'm like, no, I don't need that much of, like, drama and, like shitting on the guy. Now, I could very much tell that it was like, okay, now this is a guy who knows some things and is pretending to know all the things. And that, I think, is what people are taking umbrage with. It's okay to know some things, but it's not okay to say I am an expert. I'm an expert hacker. I'm an expert game dev. I know he was pointing to stuff like, oh hey, I have... It wasn't a degree, but like I have an award in hacking. So it's like, yeah, okay, that could maybe confer some amount of respect, but also like I could say I won a contest in middle school with like my make a cart that goes around a triangle track, but it comes with the caveat that there was nobody else competing. It was literally just our one team and we had nothing. It was a bunch of 8th graders that were like, we're not gonna do anything, so us 6th graders are like, well, I guess we're here, we're just gonna... Like, it'd be fun to actually try to make a cart or something, but literally nothing happened. But we won an award because nobody else was competing. So... But I feel like that's what Pirate Software does, is say, okay, hey, I won an award. We're not going to go into the specifics of what it is and say, okay, that's going to confer some respect to me, so... doing your part of the game jam by only doing one pirate software jam. I suppose I'm doing my part too. My only one is only one pirate software jam, so. Yeah, expert had having a dad who worked at Blizzard for 20 years. I think I got, see, that's like, it's funny because I'm like, I feel uncomfortable with that kind of nepotism. Because I feel like that's part of the reason why I got hired at my dad's company as an intern was because my dad worked at the company. And I'm like, I'm not a smart individual. I'm not a good employee. Like, that shouldn't get me hired. I don't know if it did, because I'm like, I do know some amount of programming, and I had learned some amount of programming. And I got an award in high school, like, for taking all of the tech courses that were available. So I like to think of myself as dumb, because then that makes it so that if I make a mistake, well, it's not something I can fix. I don't have to put any effort into being a better person. I could just label myself as bad and just to be a bad person. But it's, you gotta fight it and say, no, I'm gonna improve. Even if I never actually do, I'm going to try to improve. Okay, I was trying to test to see if this laser here was working, but see, and now I'm like, oh, I gotta box all this up into a YouTube video. Here's me talking about pirate software. I don't have that many major opinions about him. I haven't seen the shorts in a while either. It hasn't given me much for pirate software shorts. Well, it was giving me some of the Dune MMO, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not really interested in the MMO. I don't really need gameplay clips of this. Oh, I was trying to see if the laser was working. The ball? Oh, I got rid of the ball and then was looking for it. Okay, pause. Ball. So the parent object is here. Right? Is that what you're saying? So is the debug still there? Is the laser? The raycast? Is the raycast still there? No? Oh, it's if it hits something. I guess it didn't hit something in the distance that it was going. Well, it's like, I don't have to say go infinite distance, right? It'll just do that automatically? Or no? Okay, and this was really just to try to determine, okay, when the ball runs into something. Okay, so now, how do I get the ball to bump off of a bumper if... Yeah, because I don't want to figure out the exact physics. It's really the issue. Now, I could do the... And that's why I was also wanting to do the raycast, is because I know Brainoid said, hey, shoot a ray at the thing, and then when the ray hits it, it'll reflect off of the surface, and then you can go from there. Oh, that's the box collider. Is a trigger. Yeah, okay, but if I get rid of that... And that's not a trigger, because it wasn't able to do that. Okay, so if I put the bumpers down, what does it look like if I do the constrained version of this? Yeah, if I had to say, like, favorite content creator... I don't know, it might... Probably Doug. That feels like a fairly basic pick, but... Because that's the thing, too, is as much as, like, Doug's content has gotten into, like, oh, let's do a ton of AI stuff. I know he also did a post recently that was like, I'm also getting sick of AI. Unfortunately, I have a backlog of a bunch of AI stuff, but I know everybody's getting sick of it, and I'm also getting sick of it, so... But yeah, I do like those goofy challenges and everything, and that's literally why I have a document of ideas called the 1 year plan in all caps, was because of the Doug video that said, hey, here's your 1 year plan of how to do stuff on YouTube. So probably Doug. I mean, because there's a lot of creators where I watch clips of their content, but don't watch the actual, like, live streams and stuff when it's, like, other streamers. Yeah, I definitely have some creators on Patreon that I like their stuff enough to, like, fund a Patreon. That's a good amount of, like, webcomic stuff, though, too. Which is less, like, YouTube streamer kind of content creator. Here I am pontificating about favorite streamer. Nobody wants to hop in and inflate my ego with, it's you! You're my favorite streamer. Yeah, we're talking about streamers with big egos. The hat hides how inflated my head is. It's you. You're your own favorite streamer. That definitely sounds like the way to be the best streamer kind of thing. Is like, be your own. It's even in the Doug video where he's like when you're making a thing, just think of a stadium full of yourself, and if it makes you laugh, then do it. If you think it's funny, then do it, because you're trying to make something that is applicable to you and your fans, not applicable to everyone. So it's probably not like being your own favorite streamer. Probably not a bad idea, even if that sounds very egotistical. Well, I guess maybe not be your own favorite streamer, but be your favorite fan, I guess. Be a fan of the content you create. Yeah, but if we're talking about streamers, you know, like enough to watch their content, I don't go back and watch my content. I mean, it also, like, I live through it, so it feels less necessary to. Okay, I'm literally just poking at it. And yeah, be your favorite friend. That's a healthy mindset to have. I'm much more like, get up, do the thing, bud. Stop lying around. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to go do the thing, but I was about to say, like, don't watch another TikTok video, but I'm like, I don't really. Like, it's maybe like 10 minutes of looking at social media, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Favorite streams are backseat streams, and Let's Game It Out. But there's only one stream that I watch frequently. Well, I would assume it's me. But I know you also have a lot of time that I don't stream, so. Okay, wait, backseat streams I'm not even familiar with. Did I really fat finger caps lock? Goodness me. Maybe it's not the keyboard. Backseat streams. Because that I'm unfamiliar with. I know my friend really likes Vinny from Vine Sauce, and I'm like, I think it's tried a couple times, so they're like, oh, it's him and Germa doing a thing. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I've only watched a little bit of German stuff, so. Is this like they want you to backseat? Or is this like no backseating? Ah, the categories of games has explained why I have not watched this. Why I do not know of this streamer. Because I am not a horror game guy. Yeah, it's like FNAF. That's GeoGuessr. I guess it's not FNAF. Also FNAF. That's some indie game stuff, I suppose. Looks like it's mostly horror focused. Is this a... This looks like a faceless? Just a voice kind of streamer too? Yeah, I don't think I've watched much, like, faceless content too. The fluff and heck was I doing? I was gonna try to figure out how to get it to bump off the bumper again. Oh no! So is it actually... It's not drawing the raycast because this is not hitting anything. So give me the physics.raycast. Yeah, there's definitely content creators that I admire that don't necessarily put out a lot of content. I know, like, I think Garbage occasionally does videos. And, like, used to stream a little bit or something. Never actually watched any, Yeah, okay, last video was just sort of here's some stuff I didn't finish. Yeah, okay, so it did have a Twitch channel, but yeah, it has not streamed on there in a while. Yeah, that's kind of the inspiration for, like, maybe I should just talk. Just pick a subject and talk. Because that's what these are, is literally just here's 5 minutes of yapping. The one stream that you watch frequently, the stream starts at around midnight. Yeah, that sounds about right. I keep thinking that I should add Saturday, because then I could actually do Saturday morning, which would be a little more reasonable for anybody who watches me, and looking at the stats for, like, when people are online. I find it interesting that there is a large gap between the... Is it long-term stats? Or is it channels? Yeah, no, channels. But it's interesting to me that it's the viewers per channel there. Goes up. Like, there's more people who want to watch stuff than there are people actually streaming it. That's the interesting thing to me. Yeah, but I would love to stream at that time. Because I'm a morning person too, so it's like that I could entirely do. Because most of the time on Saturday morning, I'm just waiting for the laundry to finish anyway. It's like I throw the laundry in the washer and the dryer, and I'm just waiting for it to finish. So it's like, yeah, doing a stream would probably be better than, like, let me watch 100 videos. Probably not 100 YouTube videos. But still, let me watch too many YouTube videos. Okay, I'm just in major yap mode here. Okay, yeah, there. Out, hit, math.infinity, and then layer mask. The layer mask is fine. Oh, that's what I did then. Yeah, okay, max distance. So then math F. Infinity. And then we're not going to worry about the layer mask. Okay, then we'll see that. Gonna head to bed early. Good luck with whatever direction I'm going on. Thank you, thank you. Get some good rest. At least, you know, I know. Like, I hope you have a good... I hope you don't have trouble sleeping. That's really what I was trying to get at. The thoughts are not formulating. Oh, I'm trying to just check if the debug for the ball, did it actually do? Yeah, no. It's saying only if it hits something. So can you do like a not? It only if it hits something? So get rid of the distance thing and then just draw a ray in that direction. That's all I want to do is just to check and see that this is in fact shooting a ray basically in the direction of the pipe. I probably shouldn't have it on the ball then, should I? Yeah, because I don't know if it would be like a good idea to just have a series of raycasts that go from the pipe to whatever it hits to whatever other thing it hits. And just say, okay, ball, follow the raycasts. So, is there a big yellow line and a big yellow raycast? No. I saw it when it was rolling around at the speed of sound because it had places to go. It was going to follow its rainbow. But no, apparently no raycast. Oh, bugger off. Why do I have two different forwards? Why is this one using this and why is this using that? That might be confusing things here. That might be overcomplicating. Yeah, okay, it has been over an hour, but seeing how my back felt a lot better, we're again gonna stand for too long because I sit for too long during the rest of the day. I was like, wait, Snail's house doing some hard style? Really? That's what I was listening to today. I had noise controllers going. Which is not typical for me. I don't typically listen to hardstyle, but I just had a craving for it for some reason. Just raving in my car on the way to work. And then just straight up listened to nothing on the way back, because I'm like, well, I don't have an audiobook lined up. I'm not feeling the hardstyle. I don't know what else I want to listen to. Bugger off, you dumb! Why you no show a debug? Okay, wait. Do the math F infinity. Okay, match this. Physics.raycast. Draw a ray. So just match this, please. So then I can double check. Okay, do that then. Throw the color on the end. I don't know exactly where color is supposed to go in this. Oh. So you just have a start and a direction and a color. A duration? Oh, well, okay. I guess I can't do that. Gee, thanks. I swear I was seeing the ray earlier under the update. Does it seriously only do it under update? Okay, we'll try it under update then. Definitely kind of frustrating that I just had it in my head that I'm like, all I gotta do is get the ball to bounce off of a bumper, and then I will be good to actually do something more, like actually show off the game on social media a little bit more and stuff, and then I just have not been able to hit that goal. Or, damn it, you're just not gonna give me any of these. No? I could have sworn you had the debug ray going earlier. Why are you not doing anything now? Yeah, that makes me curious too. Is like when somebody gains a new audience of people that show up for things. I'm like, where's that person finding the time? It's like, what sort of things shifted in their life to be able to allow a new regular thing to be added? Although I suppose I've done that with Estimate Me. I've added yet another new daily game to the list. But that one's slightly different for me just because it's a quick daily game. It's not like hours of watching videos and stuff. That is just 5 minutes of poorly estimating how many things are in a pile. Well, I say poor, but there's a couple times when I'm like nowhere near the right answer, but most of the time one of my guesses is surprisingly close. What is this little laser? What's this little debug? I said infinite. That looks a lot smaller than infinite. I'm just confused. Okay, can I have the pipe? Because like when the pipe goes to spawn a ball, can I just have you shoot a ray instead? Because it's kind of what I was thinking. It's just, well, I don't know. It needs to. The ball is the one that needs to be determining where to go. Yeah, and I know I had it on the bumper for a bit there. That when it has, yeah, on trigger enter, it sucks whatever is in there into the middle and then spits it out in a different direction. But that also works with the grid move that I'm not using now with this physics version. Yeah, but this amount of code to get it to move seems better than the nonsense that I had for the grid-based implementation. So now if I could just find an easy way to do the bumper, then I would be willing to stick with this. Okay, so it's not doing the debug. Okay, so I guess so instead of the laser, can I don't know, that just feels like a good answer. It's just that instead of trying to do a grid, I could just say shoot a thing from the pipe to whatever it happens to hit and say go there, and then this can say go there, then this could say go there. Yeah, 2 hours a day isn't nothing. It was generally a time when the schedule started opening up that I started to show up. In the evening hours before sleep, we used to watch some TV shows or something, but now it's the stream instead. Well, and I know, like, Polycube, who was here for a while, was, like, just not sleeping in the middle of the night and then watching me, and then when they figured out how to sleep, stopped showing up, which... See, that's what I would hope, is that the people who watch me on a regular basis get either get a good healthy schedule going or get too famous to bother with me. Like I hope Brainoid gets too busy with Replicat to show up to streams anymore. That's what I hope. It's like I get too successful to bother. Or like I said, like with Polycube, actually figure out, okay, here's a good sleep schedule. And then sleep, so. I got you to be a little more productive even. Yeah, because work on projects during the stream, which is when you would have just been watching some show. And then like that, like I said, that's why I stream too, is like I get more done because I'm streaming. But I'm glad to hear that. That is kind of the goal of streaming, at least for me, for doing game dev stuff, is to inspire other people to. I mean, that's why I was trying. I still have to edit that presentation I did, but that's part of what that was like, no, go make ugly games, go make stuff. I think it's so cool when people make stuff. Well, I'm thinking like I could put that as at the end of a video and say like, oh hey, if you make something, I'll follow whatever social media you have. Which gets into the like follow for follow thing, and then it's like, well, okay, now I'm not looking at any of the social media that I already follow anyway. Okay. I have not done anything for the past half an hour, 45 minutes or something. I'm just clicking on it and getting confused and clicking on it and getting confused. Let's try something different. Let's plan. Let's do a little planning and say, here's all my to-dos. No, it's I wanted to work on the game today. I guess now that I do have the other stuff moved over, I could work on that. I'm not going to. I wanted to work on the game. It's been forever. This is supposed to be the project that I'm focusing on above all else, and again, I'm getting mad at myself because the new computer took a while to set up. It's like, that was going to halt progress anyway. Okay. The plan for how I want the ball to move around is that when it hits a bumper, the bumper tells it where to go. So how do I determine when it reaches the bumper? The easiest way to do that it would not work, but yeah, but currently that doesn't work as well, as the course requires more attention on audio. So yeah, doing that during the stream isn't really feasible. Yeah, no, there's definitely some things that like I don't get done because I'm like, oh well, I want to stream. So like video editing, where it's like that's harder to do on stream and make that interesting. So that video has not been edited, and it'll probably slip into the weekend to when I actually edit it. And like ideally, it's not even gonna take me that long because it's really just listen to it, see where I stumble a bit, and say, nope, cut that part out, cut that part out. Okay, it's good. Like that's what editing the last video was. Which is the nice thing about doing a presentation, is that then I don't even have to think about what the visuals look like. I'm like, they're already there. Okay. And I do think my next video is just going to be ranting about Borderlands. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think it's going to take me very long. I know what I want to say with that. Okay, so when ball collides with the bumper, move in a new direction. Okay, so then how do I determine that? So what is the colliding? So collision. What am I saying for that? Well, yeah, no, I because I have it constrained, the way I have the movement constrained, if I put a bumper in the way, even if it's the angled part, that doesn't actually go anywhere because it just straight up stops because it's trying to go along a single line. It actually has a nice, like, bounce back. So I'm actually kind of happy with the physics-based thing. Oh, that is a full-on reflect. Yeah, so maybe the doing this kind of physics version works. I don't know that I would want it to fully reflect, but I think it's because this thing has maximum bounce on it, physics-wise. I added maximum bounce to it because it was supposed to be doing maximum bounce when it hits it like this. Oops. Interesting, the maximum bounce on that kind of odd angle turns into that. Oh, and it is just straight up sitting right next to it. And you're just slowly rotating. Interesting. Well, what would be the actual, like... If I were to make this physically, it's like, would I need to shrink the bumper? Well, obviously I would need to shrink the bumper, but would I want to, Best stream would be streaming how you edit a VOD of the stream to a video, and the next stream after is a stream of how you edit the VOD of the editing the stream before that, and so on. Infinite editing stream, and editing those streams into more videos on stream. Well, I keep wondering if somebody's done, like, reacting to yesterday's video, and then just doing that as, like, just, like, endlessly. You know, reacting to yesterday's video, day, whatever. Like, especially because Bo Burnham even did a bit of, like, here's me reacting to me playing a game, like, here's me reacting to my reaction of playing a game. Apparently not. Nobody's done, like, reacting to yesterday's video. That would be a fun bit to do. I think that'd be pretty easy to do too. To just watch a video, like, I'd have to pick a base, like a source of video to watch, and then figure out the. I feel like that's what you'd have to, like. If you were to do reacting to yesterday's video, day, whatever. I feel like there's got to be, like, an interesting source video. It'd have to be, like, a quick video too. At least if I were doing a, like, reaction to a reaction, I would want the source video to be pretty quick. Although I feel like the reactions would just spiral off into just chatting and yapping anyway. Yeah, because I could immediately see myself saying, like, I was grumpy yesterday because I didn't feel good because my back hurt. And now I feel a lot better, and then just react to whatever the day's. I don't know, that wouldn't be that hard to do, though. And I think I could imagine YouTube pushing it at some point, and just one of the random days in the middle there, it's like day 34. Of reacting to yesterday's video. Yeah, because the thumbnail would be pretty easy too. It would just be, here's a clip of the stream with whatever the video happens to be, and then in the case of however many videos down. Tempting. It's very tempting. Okay. You got me on another tangent again. What I was trying to do was determine when a ball collides with a bumper, it'll move in a new direction. So what is the collision? How am I determining when it collides? Which, like, I was... yeah, we're following the train of thought here again. So if I make the bumper tiny, it'll look weird to me. It's like, I like this, because that's what Plungeroo does too. And, like, I wanted to go through this, like, frame by frame at some point as well. If we're talking about video editing. This isn't a YouTube video though, it's like, I don't think it has the same kind of ability to scrub through. Is there a Plungeroo trailer? And then, okay, it's gonna give me... what is this? This is a YouTube channel called Plungeroo, in which they play... Okay, it was a YouTube channel in which they play video games. Okay, they did 2 years of like, here, let's try to do some kind of gaming, and then said, nah, doesn't seem to be gaining much traction. Plungeroo reveal trailer. There we go, Little Crown Games. So now, can I scrub through this to see exactly how the animation is done here? Yeah, that's a good idea too, is adding the animation for when the... Yeah, it's like, is it lerping to each position? Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's they're not actually like colliders colliding there. Yeah, okay, and it does, it just hits that center point and then does the animation for, let me circle and then drop. Yeah, that's 100% a grid system, no physics. Yeah. That's what I was saying. And it was like, I don't know about the, Because it all looks very good to me, and I don't know about the, when it drops into the water and stuff, too. Yeah, but it's like, it almost looks like it's hitting the middle of this space here, and then moving on to the next one. Oh, and interesting that it doesn't actually flash until it's well off at the thing. Oh, but there it flashes immediately. Yeah, I was gonna say, I would assume it would be when it hits the middle, then it changes color. Yeah, some kind of hit particle effects is a good idea, too. Well, and I guess, like, hey, look, it's a Doug. You're always talking about Doug being my favorite content creator. So, Plunkett. That's the name of a person, right? Like Luke Plunkett. I feel like that's a game spot person. Again, not related at all, but oh, Kotaku. I lied. It's somebody from Kotaku, not, or who used to be at Kotaku. I don't know. Games journalism has kind of disappeared. Wow, we got to see Mario's dick and balls? Interesting. I'm like, wait, is this yet another person who is this another Substack I could, design a game about airplanes? Yeah, okay, July 2023, left Kotaku after 17 years to launch Aftermath. I'm like, yet another, another, newsletter. Yet another gaming-related newsletter? Yeah, there's subscribe. Okay, now this is one of those, like, buy all the articles. At this point, I probably have too many. I was gonna say, a single word. A two-word message, and I'm already on a complete tangent here. I was like, I haven't... Oh, this is a different thing. This is... I thought this was an origami book for a second. I was like, I do have an origami... Like, I don't know if I still have it, but I definitely had an origami. Opinions on Little Snack. As in... Eating a little snack? I mean, I do literally walk around the house and go, snack? snack? Like a seagull. When I'm like, I just had dinner, and then I'm like, snack? It's like, no, don't eat anything, bud. You don't need a snack. Snack? Or you talk? Wait, is it Little Bad Snacks? Right, Little Bad Snacks. That's a musical artist. Is that what we're talking about? Please tell me this is actually. Yeah, Little Bad Snacks. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, so yeah, it's a little snack. I'm thinking of little bad snacks. I guess I could have just clicked the link tree. That would have helped. I don't know which all things I'm following, but okay. But if I look up little snack. A daily game site that makes AI-generated daily games. Interesting. New pop culture games and puzzles every day. Well, I'm only just now learning about this, so I do not have any opinions thus far. A little wary because it's AI related, but... This looks like that kind of like brain rot, whatever distracts you the most kind of nonsense, as opposed to, well, let's make a fun game. Played this one? You want me to play this one specifically? I guess I'll try this one. Decode what the daily thing means. Hot dogs. Red letters are incorrect. Yeah, okay, that's same Wordle language ain't there. Describe the image. Kinda horrifying. Is that, that's not what it's looking for, is it? Oh wait. Button? I don't have it started. Shoot. I actually remembered to do the replay buffer, except I didn't have it actually started. Dang it. Now I gotta do the joke again. Describe the image. I'm not gonna do the joke again. I'm tempted. Too muscular. Muscle? No. Heavily invested in, like 3 million. I think this is a better idea than, oh, but I guess, I know, clearly we're talking about this little snack as opposed to Little Bad Snacks. But if you want something else to look up, there's Little Bad Snacks. But Mark Cuban invested in an AI game company that looked... It was like... To me, did not seem like a great idea, where they're like, any video could become a game now. It was like... I want to just watch a video. I don't want to play a game of some random thing. It just seemed very much like, how distracted can we get? As much as I enjoy things like fun, and I say, hey, I think the point of life is to goof off, I think Overplay, is that what it is? Frictionless platform for user-generated games. Yeah, this, Overplay. Where it's like, we're gonna take your TikTok videos and turn them into games. Just seems unnecessary. Okay, so just give me Overplay then, instead of this. I think it's overplayed. No, it's not overplayed. It's unnecessary. It just seems... No, not overplayed. It was Overplay, right? Right? Okay, Overplay app, I guess. But it's just kind of crazy to me that he's like, oh, I'm gonna invest in this, and it's like, I don't know who's gonna want this though. That's the thing. I'm like, yes, people like TikTok, but I think the kind of people that like TikTok and who like watching TikToks are also the kind of people who don't want to interact with something. They just want to swipe and have it give you something. Not actually like, now I gotta focus on like, get a record. But if this actually does well, I want it enshrined that I was on the wrong side of history here. But I just don't see the use case. It's like, yes, I like TikTok, but I don't know. I guess I did see a TikTok where it was like, spot the differences between the two videos, and I did sit there spotting the differences. So I don't know, it's just, there's something vapid about it. There's just something missing. There's just something that keeps me out about it. That, like, it just seems... I guess because I think of a game as, like, a thing that you can, like, play and win and get good at and tell your friends about, but it's, I think something that is so ephemeral as to be attached to a video is just going to be unnecessary. So yeah, we have AI generated content that it just gets money. We're very much at that stage right now, is that like anything AI related is gonna get money. But okay, yeah, saw it on Shark Tank, thought it looked gimmicky. It's really just a gimmicky way to watch videos. Basically, you can program a game into a video by swiping, tapping, or moving the screen at the same time as something moves in the video. What? So it makes a game based on you pretending to perform the actions of the things in the video? That's... That sounds like baby stuff. That's like the baby's like, look, the bubble's moving. I'm gonna tap it. I think that's fine for babies. Like I said, I don't want that attached to like a TikTok. Plus, babies don't have money. They're not gonna pay for it. So. Oh, you're just gonna distract me real quick and then disappear? I mean, it's fine. I like just sitting here chatting, so. Yeah, I could comfortably say, don't see this being successful, so. And then if it becomes successful, I'm gonna stay away from it. No, I think this is really telling here. It's just that people are like, yeah, there's not... this isn't a value add. But it's just because it was attached to the Mark Cuban is funding it kind of thing. Oh, this is what started it. I'm looking at AI stuff on little snacks here. I wanted to make one guess on this. I don't know, like heart? Muscle? It's like kind of a skeleton, but... Describe the image. Just flipping weird, dude. Something two. Two? I don't know. And then this is like exactly how I play like phrasal. I just put in a word of something, and then just like, okay, just tell me what I've got here. I only have one guess left. They want me to be that specific, so. Oh, you're gonna be back? Well, we'll see how long it takes for me to call it quits. I'll probably be around for another 45 minutes. And then call it quits. Zoom in? No, I don't want to zoom in. I don't want to see all the, like, sinew here. No way, is sinew more... That's still muscle related, right? I don't actually know how that relates to muscles, just that it does. So maybe how about out? I wasn't expecting to get the S and I don't know. S sleep. It's like all the ones that I want to use already. Oh my goodness. Delete it. STE. Out. And then 2. Okay, I don't need to guess the ones I've already gotten. Oh, that's not street. Oh, Inside Out 2? Oh, as in the movie Inside Out 2. That's supposed to be Inside Out, okay. Interesting, it's not. So my opinion now, having played a game, is I'm unimpressed. At least that one was just kind of confusing. And I'm just kind of weirded out about the detail of the AI there. Movies with live action remakes. You're just asking me to remember which ones have live action remakes? Well, Lilo and Stitch just had one recently. The Little Mermaid had a single image that people were like, nah, that ain't it. Snow White and Mulan. I'm not gonna watch them. I don't like the live action remakes, but I do know of them. '90s Disney movie? Alice in Wonderland? Beauty and the Beast? Oh, live action remake. Alice in Wonderland has a remake, though. Do you want... I don't know if it's specifically called. This one's better. I don't know if this is, like, super interesting. Again, I'm not a fan of the AI art. Just, I guess these are just kind of images. This one's definitely better. The other one was weirding me out, but that might have just been Inside Out. Just kind of odd. Only one movie fits. Live action remake, Beauty and the Beast. 90s movie. Only one movie fits? Okay, wait. Bug's Life has not had one. Dumbo has. Oh, you're also asking me to know if it's a 90s movie or not? Chart-topping song. I'm just gonna kind of go with this for now. We'll put that there. And then... Oh, okay, this being the overarching thing is it's a 90s Disney movie. And then live action remake. No, Dumbo's had a live action remake. Oh, and then chart-topping song. Okay, well then no, don't do that, because I'm like, animal protagonist is better. Then I can do bugs there too. Send it. Hell yeah. Okay, this one was better. This one is easier to figure out, so. Yay, I got a little pal! Okay, no, I'm good. The layers of distraction are so deep at this point. Okay, I want to... Oh, I was... No. Wait, the... Yeah, it's a mesh collider, the mesh... Wait, okay, that's this mesh collider, right? Yeah, but that's not... Okay, you're the one that's doing... Yeah, I was gonna say, you're the one that's doing this, so... Can I... So that's the thing, is these are separated, so can I shrink this collider, then? Do I want to know how to animate anything? Not right now, no. You mean animate stuff in Blender? I do want to learn that at some point. As in, right now, no. I want to futz around with this. Okay, that could stay like that, but this... let's do that. And then... Oh, I guess, no. I lied. So then this gets cut. There we go. And then I want to scooch it by half. So what is that going to do for collision? Do I want to learn how to animate anything and everything in code? You mean like using... Because I'm like, I can reposition things, I can resize things in code just fine. I'm still a little confused what the ask is. I was like, are you talking animating the actual code itself? Making the letters dance up and down? Guess that also doesn't seem super necessary. Okay, so now it's going to be a little harder to click on this. Okay. Oh, it's the edge. It's the corner of this. There we go. Oops. Okay. Nope. Goodness me. Holy heck. This, there, that. Okay, that's what I wanted to test. Is like if I do that. There we go. So now when it collides with that, can I go get it to go in a different direction? Because that's basically what it's going to be there, is it hits that. And that looks like it's hitting the exact middle of this. I hope I'm doing the math right on that. Oh, a YouTube video that got recommended to me about transitions. The title was How to Animate Anything. I mean, if it's a YouTube video, then yeah. I watch too much YouTube, so yeah, feel free to send that over. I mean, if it is just kind of the basics of animation, I know some of the basics of animation. Okay, so I haven't watched this clearly, but I have seen this channel. Yeah, interpolation, okay. I was assuming this was a animation thing. Okay, what's the video that I watched? Because I'm like, I subscribed. This is very much the kind of channel I would like to have more videos recommended to me. YouTube. This is the kind of stuff that I would love to watch more of. Okay, I don't know what I've already seen, but... It'd be cool to be sponsored for a video. We'll see if that ever happens. I guess when I finish this other video, we'll see if it also... I was gonna say pops off, but I guess 700 is really not that big in the grand scheme of things. It's a whole heck of a lot bigger than a lot of my other videos, and it would seem like it was a lot less effort, but... Like, do I sit? No, I'm not gonna sit. My back felt so much better yesterday, and I didn't sit. 2 hours feels like a little too long to be standing, but... And like I said, I think the thing that I saw said 30 minutes, and 20 minutes, and 10 minutes. But having a desk job, I don't know where you would be able to... Well, I guess if having a desk job that does not give me an ability to crank my desk up and down to stand. Okay, so now all I gotta do is get the ball to actually change direction based on some kind of criteria here. I would need to change the collision here, but yeah, like to me that actually looks pretty good, so... Oh, what happens if I do that? Is it gonna... Yeah, it's like, it's still gonna bounce off, yeah. So now it's just a question, how do I get this to then send it in a different direction? So the bumper. Really? I sneezed myself into a yawn? Also, it's so wild that it's so... I do have the same schedule. I do the same things. I do a lot of the same things every day. I guess it would make sense that my body would say, yep, it's time. I just don't expect it to be so specific. To be within 5 minutes of 8 o'clock. Okay, so now this is... This is probably where I would do the brainoid suggestion of... Yeah, this would be the raycast or something, but... There's gotta be an easy way to... Oh, I guess, yeah, we need to... So, we need to make sure that the animation is happening with the... examples are made in C++ using SFML. The concept still works. And in a week, if I end up making a grid system, I'm going to try... I'd try to more or less implement the translation system of that video. Okay. Okay, that's how to animate anything was kind of showing up. Oh, okay. Because this is working. This is working correctly. This is not working correctly. How in the heck do I have one version working and one version not working? So camera controls. When I click the... Yeah, okay, start. Okay, enable pan, and if the current left mouse button is pressed, touch start is camera screen to world point, and then that. Okay, so this panning here. So if I get rid of this, can I still pan with the mouse? Not with the... Oh my goodness. And not with the scroll wheel. So if I... Because this is really all I want to do is just say when I click the scroll wheel, it does the panning instead of the... clicking. Okay, so the scroll wheel is disabled, but this is still enabled. Okay, so then hopefully, can I just switch this out with the middle mouse button? Or the right mouse button? And then do I need to throw this in a... whatchamacallit? Like, wasn't this doing the same sort of thing? Or it might have been subsumed by the other thing. Okay, let's see if that fixes the... Oh yeah, it's not raining. It's kind of a bummer, because it was hot. Well, I say it was hot, but they keep the office pretty cold. So I tend to be fairly well, for me and my small body. That. No, why? That is horribly broken. What? I just changed out the button that it uses. What do you mean? Okay, I lied. I'm sorry. Huh? Huh? First, if still has a left mouse button. Oh, that's the touch start. And there. Okay, yes, that would make sense. Oopsie daisies. Okay, yeah. I just didn't read the code. Wait. Let's read the code. So if the left mouse button was pressed this frame, and then here is the if the left mouse button is pressed. This should have been the same movement, though. That's the confusing thing. Oh, this is touch zoom. Okay, maybe I don't want to mess with the touch zoom. I just want to make this actually work with this. Maybe we bring you up here, and then we keep the touch zoom. Yeah, okay, the pan speed thing is not necessary. That's not touch start. Touch start then? Okay, so now I've stolen the code from that. So that's if that's pressed, and then here it's if. Okay, now let's see if that works. Also good to know that you can see what I'm doing code-wise. Especially because this is such a high-resolution screen now, so... Yep. Have fun sleeping. Good night. Thanks for pointing out code nonsense. There we go. Okay. Now panning is working correctly. Not with the right mouse button? Just with the scroll? Okay, well, at any rate, it's working well with the scroll. Okay, progress was had. Now, it's just a matter of how do I determine when it hits the bumper, what direction does it go? Do I want to try to tackle that? Or do I want to just kind of... I could save the editing the video until the weekend. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. Because that's what I keep trying to do, is just say, oh, I could finish that now, and then I stay up way too... maybe not way too late, but I stay up later than I mean to. Although, I don't know, if I cut off the stream now, I can edit, like, a video into, like, my thoughts on pirate software. My thoughts on AI, or on little snacks. Oh, I don't like that. I don't know why it's doing that, but we're gonna ignore it for now. So, the bumper, when... I don't have an... Oh, I do have on collision enter. This doesn't have a grid move, though. Let's see. This does have a... Oh, it's get move direction, which has this grid move input direction. Which... Oh, man. I could do... I don't know that I want to do that, but I could attach the kind of grid move stuff to the physics ball. There's so little code in here, I want to keep it that way. It's like, just do this, that's fine. there another way I can determine which direction the ball should be bouncing when it hits a bumper? Yeah, if I turn off the constraints, I could try to just turn off the constraints and see what happens. So do other dot game object get component being the physics ball. It does feel good to sit down and just work on this for a while. It's felt like it's been a while. Well, okay, I've been fairly distracted the entire time, but there's been measurable progress. Okay. Get collider? No. Get the rigid body. Which is available or not available? It's a private rigid body. So, instead do... I will do it here. Public. Gee, thanks. This does feel a little less intrusive, trying to... Then I don't have to interpret what the AI is trying to say. It's still gonna give me that kind of thing anyway. This is the rigid body. And then get the rigid body. Yeah, because IntelliSense is still doing its thing, and I just don't find I don't find IntelliSense as obnoxious. And do I need to space those things out like that? No, but is it more rateable? I'm not sure. Okay, but at any rate, that gives me the rigid body to then get rigid body, and then it'd be nice to have a rigid body, especially when I'm complaining about my back hurt. And like, I like working out. That's the weird thing. I just don't work out much because I have a hard time finding the time for it. And you could say, oh, it's just an excuse. You wouldn't work out. And I'm like, no, that's how I got my kidney stone. I think it's because I was working out too much and not drinking enough water back in 2023. That was 37 weeks of 5 days a week of working out. Was it a lot of working out? Depends on who you ask. I think a 2-mile run every other day is a good amount of exercise, along with a whole bunch of... I think I was up at like 300 or something push-ups. No, I mean, it probably wasn't that much. It was at least 100. I was definitely doing... I was partially doing the... I was doing the One Punch Man workout with less running. Is what it was. And I think I was doing more push-ups. Because I think it's just 100 push-ups, which really isn't that bad. Somebody can throw a do push-ups at me if they don't believe me. And this is constraints. This is equals rigid body constraints dot none. So what happens if I just remove the constraints when the ball bounces? My legs are unhappy with all the standing, but my back is unhappy with all the sitting, so I guess it's just choose what part is going to be unhappy. I need a bumper to bounce off of, so now what happens? Yeah, it actually needs to determine which direction it's supposed to bounce, but that kind of works. So no, it needs to fully determine which direction it's going. Okay, who's trying to set a grid move direction? Spawn bumper? Oh, is that why it's only spawning one bumper? Is it because it's exploding otherwise? What's the issue? Object reference not sent through an instance of an object in the bumper at 104. Why? Okay, hey, why are you pointing me to that? If this is the line that's supposed to be causing an issue, why don't you? That's 104. Set facing direction? Okay, I'm not really messing with that anyway. Can I just pause what the bumper's doing? And then you actually give me a bunch of bumpers to mess with? Because I am just messing with the boxes right now. So just don't, maybe? Let's just don't and say we did. That's the other thing about pushing past 8 o'clock is that it's just when everybody goes to bed. It's always the funny thing. I go look at the stats and it's like, oh look, I actually had a good stream. There's a bunch of people there. But when I end the stream, there's nobody around, so it feels like, oh, well, maybe nobody was there the entire time. Oh, was it? So is it only spawning the one? It is still... Well, okay, huh? Excuse me. Yeah, no, okay. Spawning bumper would be having a problem if the bumper's having a problem. Why is the bumper having a problem? What is your major malfunction? Who is doing this? You. Maybe this one. Bugger off then. One of y'all. Okay, now. It's only spawning one bumper because it's exploding. What? When did this become a thing? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Set facing direction. You're not finding a bumper, or you're not finding an ability to set a facing direction here? Okay, spawn. So is it in the spawn bumper? So how about don't then? I think it kind of, well, I don't know. It was letting me move the bumper around though. Why are you having an issue? I didn't touch this. I didn't mess with it. It's a new computer. We'll say that that's what's actually happening here. We'll blame the new computer. There we go. There's some bumpers. Why were they not getting their... Okay, and now because the bumper is not initialized. Okay, so... Bring them back. I lied. What do you mean the set facing is wrong? There's two different scripts you could pull from. Get component in children bumper set facing direction to whatever. The bumper clone, which is the bumper. So get component in children. So you're looking for... I mean, as much as my code is dumb and bad, it's better than work, where I'm sitting around looking at doing testing stuff that just, like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. So this is an object. Get this from in this child object. Get component in children. bumper and then set its facing direction to whatever. It's right there, mother fluffer. Unless you're trying to find this. But I had the one disabled anyway. Yeah, I'm realizing that it's not that I don't curse. It's that I decided to switch out the curse with something else. Nope, it's still... Huh? What do you mean you're not finding the object in children? I just double-checked that that should be fine. But you also said even if it's on the parent object, which I don't think you should be looking at the parent object first anyway, that also didn't find anything. You're clearly spawning a bumper, so why is it having an issue finding the object that's in there when I can clearly see that it's there? And I didn't change that, you dumb. Yeah, okay, there's only one bumper because this object reference not set to an instance of an object. When you spawn the bumper, spawn bumper. In the bumper clone, that's clearly making a bumper at least. The bumper clone, get component in children bumper. I can see it. So this is, okay, let's challenge all assumptions here. The game manager. The bumper that I put in here is this. This prefab, you're highlighting it specifically. So when I look in this bumper, I both A, have a bumper script here, and B, have a bumper script in the child object. The order doesn't matter, right? It's somewhere in the child object, not specifically the first child. Yeah, this is the only thing where it's trying to get something. Positions is fine, because other things are using positions and not having any problem with it. This is the only thing having any problem with it. This is not getting anything either. This is the only thing that's trying to get something. And it's trying to get the bumper component in the child, of which I can see it right there, and it's enabled. This is not... It's in the prefab. I don't need to sit here and say, reset the prefab. Or apply to all or whatever it is. Apply to the prefab. And then you just... It's bumper.set facing direction. Set facing direction. Yeah, because I got rid of this chunk of code. And it did it just fine, and it put all the bumpers in a different direction. I don't understand why you're having a hard time with this, Unity. You've done this before. I didn't change this code. I'm gonna realize that I did, in fact, change the code, but I'm gonna continue to say that I didn't until I figure out what I did change. I didn't do it. I mean, I guess until I find out that I did do it, but otherwise, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Mother fluffing piece of... Yeah, because then it spawns it just fine. So this is clearly the problem code right here. Okay, there's another version of get component in children, right? Bumper clone, get component in children. Is it like get component in child or something? Why is there 4 versions of the same thing? Because it's not get component. That'll look in the parent for the bumper object. Which maybe we do that then. If you're gonna be stupid about it. Let's just see if you can find in here. It's looking at bumper. I'm like, I didn't change this. Yeah, this is why. It's a little scary to be working on code close to when I want to call it quits, is because if it's a bug that I feel like I'm close to finishing, and then I'm not actually close to finishing, then oops, there goes all the sleep. Stop messing with it. Okay, so even when you're looking in the parent object, is this wrong? You're looking at this, right? And this is spawning the bumper. Get component bumper. Are you saying the set facing direction isn't working? Transform.parent.Euler angles? That's not gonna be the issue, right? Because I'm using this when I change its... What about when I click on it? That changes the direction, right? On pointer down. I change the direction, but I don't actually say change direction. Okay, interesting. That's probably something I should fix if I want to continue using this. But like, this isn't fluffing anything, you mother fluffer. Okay, so let's see if that does anything. I know that there's a script in there. I don't understand why you're not finding it. I can point you at it just fine. I thought that's what I was doing. You thought wrong. Bugger off. Okay, so that's not the problem. I don't know what else to do for you to help you any more than I already have. Get component bumper. So I look at the I look at here where I'm spawning a bumper, which is this prefab. This prefab has a bumper script right here. This prefab has a bumper script right here. Both of these prefabs do have their animators too. It's not like these are having issues. So when I go into the game manager and I say bumper clone, the thing that I just made that is a bumper, and then I say get the component to bumper, and then I say set facing direction. It is this. It's just not finding this component, correct? That's your issue? So it's not setting the facing direction. It's just trying to find the component, and if it can't, it should be null, right? Or it should explode or something. And then you fluff and work. What? So set facing direction doesn't exist? It's a thing I can call. But I comment something out on set facing direction. Why are we being so stupid? Transform.parent? Can't find a parent object? I was checking the child. I was saying get component child so that when it looks for a parent, but apparently there is no parent. Okay, so how about this? Set facing direction does absolutely nothing. And now are you gonna complain? I suppose you're free to, but please don't. Okay. Is this the transform.parent? So now we say get component in children and then look for the bumper. The transform.parent, except I'm looking in the child. And also, this wasn't an issue until now. Yeah, but the expectation is that when I log into the code, that the code should be the same as when I logged out. And that is a false assumption. The little gremlins get into the computer at night. There's 8 hours of which you're completely asleep for. Somebody could... The little gremlins could... Okay, so... to the transform.parent, despite the fact that I made sure that this is a child object. Okay, we're slowly narrowing it down. Because you're finding the child, otherwise you would have yelled at me that you couldn't find the child. How in the world are you finding this child bumper object here? You're getting the component in the child, and then when I ask for the parent of the child, you say, oh, pff, I don't know. Huh? Yep, there's a happy little set of bumpers, and then transform.parent. Or does the parent not have Euler angles? I'm pretty sure that that is just, or Euler angles? What's the more American one? I think Euler's a little more fun to say, but looks a lot more like Euler to me. Euler? Euler? That's a transform. That's just if you go off of the transform object. You're saying that this object does not have a transform? Is it game object? It's like, it's transform.position, transform.whatever. So transform should be fine. Transform.parent. Okay. Is it picking up this one first? Despite the fact that I explicitly told it to look in the child? Like, okay, I can easily copy and paste it into this other object if necessary. So now this is the only bumper script. It is in the child, and the child has a parent. This is not an orphaned child. To throw in the orphan crushing machine. If you're not gonna work. Okay, now that... There we go. You dumb. Oh, it's on pointer down. Wait, what was I looking at? Here. There we go. Transform to parent on the angles there. And then if I click on it, it's still okay. Okay. Holy heck'em. So it was the fact that the other one had a script. Even if you turned it off, it still picked it up. And when I say look in child, it decided, oh, let's look at the parent first. Obnoxious. Gee, thanks. Okay, holy heck. Now what? I go to bed. It's 8:30. Was there anybody here listening to me yell at my computer? It's an efficiency thing. The more that you yell at the computer, it's like a plant. The more you yell at it, the more it grows. Because plants like a lot of noise. That's what the Mythbusters figured out. They're like, here, have a bunch of metal. I mean, it doesn't really intuitively make a lot of sense to me, but it is also the Mythbusters, and that is a fun thing to say, so. Is it not gonna update? There is in fact nobody here. Brainoid went to bed. Philo went to bed. And all of they're not. All of the stream avatars are lying to me. These are just people that showed up to. No, and then it jumps up to 4. Okay. Well, you gotta wait a while for it to actually update and say how many people are here. Yeah, at some point. It's like, I need a roll call button or something. Well, no, wait. This lets you see how many people are in the stream, right? But it's not up to date, though. I know that's why I turned it off. It's because it is not up to date. Okay, but if there is in fact 4 people who want to do a raid, then we could go raid Doug Dog. I just mentioned Doug Dog. I don't think that's even allowed. Oh, Big Nose Bug. What was it? Sully Gnome? No. It was the Twitch stats. I was like, the Twitch trackers said the Big Nose Bug actually follows me. I was like, how? What? That's kind of cool. Right? It had a random thing of like, who, yeah, there we go. Famous followers. Big Nose Bug. It's like, really? Oh, okay. What is Big Nose Bug even up to? Plus, it was like, how was I found? I'm a very small streamer. Date everything. Okay, no, I was doing game dev. Let's see if we can find some game dev down here. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Ugh. Small Ant Mom got a Switch too. This Oy vey. I haven't watched OV in forever. I don't know if she's still doing the summer fun thing. Some Borderlands 3, that's fun. I do like me some Borderlands. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I want to play it so bad. Some Celeste. Nobody's doing any game dev? I thought I had all sorts of game dev people in here. Art, I guess? Somebody doing art, makers, and crafting. A co-working stream? Wait, that's a thing you can co-work and chat. Stationary show and tell. That's the category? Interesting. I don't think I've even heard of that one. Okay, I was like, I haven't seen OV in a while. Let's like. This sounds. Oh, and they're just starting a thing. Yes, yeah, that's why I hadn't watched OV in a while. Is because the timing never lines up. I'm always going to bed right when the stream starts.
I thought you the 2 in 1.
Is it even working? Oh my god, the game's gonna crash.
Okay, well, if anybody's here, we'll go right over there. I will be back tomorrow. Probably with games. I want to do game.
You know what would be so cool? As if oh, whoa, you guys just come in.
Oh, wow.
Okay, dokie. I will be back tomorrow with probably FTL and Dishonored 2. I gotta see how good Dishonored 2 looks on my new computer.
Oh, we gotta actually hear people.
Double review.
Okay, dokie.
I hear
Bye. Good night. Have fun sleeping. Bye.
I don't like
Let's just mute Ovi until she figures it out, since we're all in game now.
Okay.
Can you send me in another invite, please? I want to play with the big kids. Mommy said I could come out to